wealth is more than money. It's legacy, wisdom, and the alignment of purpose. Welcome to Crown and Keys, where we unlock the secrets to generational wealth, passive income, and financial freedom through real estate, tax strategy, and personal development. I'm your host, Cynthia Spirlin, your guide on this journey. With over 20 years in real estate investing, a Juris Doctorate, and the passion for aligning wealth with purpose, I bring you conversations with the most brilliant minds in real estate, finance, and entrepreneurship. Together, we'll uncover the strategies that turn income into impact and assets into legacy. Your wealth isn't just for you, it's for the generations that follow. So grab your keys, adjust your crown, and let's build something that lasts. Welcome to another episode of Crown and Keys. We're so excited to have our guest today that is a specialist and expert in healthcare staffing. She started her own business after working in the field for over 10 years, and now for 2 years, she's operated her own staffing agency specializing in healthcare to support clients that want to start a business in group homes. So we're going to learn today how to create generational wealth through business development. And I want to welcome Jessica Washington to our show today. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Yes, from sunny Fort Worth, Texas, right?
Yes, it's not sunny today. It's kind of gray.
Oh, is it really?
The sun isn't coming out for us yet.
Okay, soon enough.
Right.
So tell us about what inspired you to start your business.
Well, I've been in healthcare my whole entire life. My son is 21. I started working with my aunt in group homes when I was like 12. And since I was little, like caring for people and helping people has just been my thing. So I've worked in hospitals, different facilities, and I just wanted to be able to create a staffing agency that has people that are just as passionate as me about healthcare. So when I'm looking for people to work, I'm actually talking to them, vetting them to make sure that their goals align with how I feel people should be treated. So, and I wanted to give the healthcare world better staff. So many times, so many stories I hear patients saying that they're not getting proper care. They're just getting mistreated. So I wanted to be able to give them a good staff and also help employers keep good people on their staff as well. So I figured with me having all the knowledge and experience that I have from both sides, actually being a direct caregiver and administrative, that my business would be different than other businesses because I didn't see both aspects. So I understand the employer side and I understand the employee side.
Yeah, it's really important to have the right attitude and motivation when you're serving people in healthcare. And so the
Right.
disposition and their attitude about giving and how they care for other people is so important because when you lose your health, it really affects you more than just your health, but as
Right.
your identification as a person. And so to be mistreated when you're most vulnerable is
It's
something a lot of people
devastating.
can,
Yeah.
yeah, they can't appreciate that until they actually go through it. So I think that's great that you have a business and you really look for that kind of person when you're
Mhm.
staffing, not just filling the role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So now, how did you migrate into the business development where you're helping people actually start group homes?
I was always asked, like people always ask me questions, like just it was asking me my knowledge, like, what do you think about this and how should I do this? So I helped a lot of people, you know, just for free, just because I knew the knowledge and just because, it was something that I knew. So I thought about it, I was like, well, maybe I can, make some income for my family by offering my services to more people and to help them. So I started offering the service to help people. And even when I meet people who want to start group homes, I still do a thorough assessment with them because you can't start a group home and not have compassion for people. So if I meet someone and they just start talking about the dollar amounts and the money they want to make and
Mm-hmm.
all that, I don't feel comfortable working with them because
Yeah.
your heart, your mind is in the wrong place. Like,
Mhm.
yes, of course, when you start a business, you want to make money, of course, but you also have to understand you're taking care of people's lives. This isn't just, you know, selling burgers or something. You're taking care of someone's loved one, someone's
Yeah.
grandmother, uncle, brother, sister.
Right.
So it's very important for me, even in those relationships, to that you're compassionate. And I want to help people. Like everybody needs a business. Like the way the world is now, I don't want to get into all that, but like you need to have something for yourself that you can generate income for yourself, for your family. Like put your family in place to be employers if they need a job. Have that within your family. So I started that to just cultivate everything else that I had going on.
Right, right. So, I, how do you feel about creating generational wealth in a family? How do you do that in your family?
Well, in my family, I've taught my kids to like start their own businesses. I have 6 kids, and each one of them have unique things that they want to do. Some of them don't know. My youngest doesn't know what they want to do. My 15-year-old don't know what they want to do yet. So I just teach them different things. Like I didn't know anything about a credit score, so I teach them about a credit score. I didn't know anything about budgeting, so I try to teach them about budgeting and
Yeah,
teach them how important it is to have something for yourself. Like that is so important for me. Um, I work so many jobs, and working for people, sometimes they don't treat you the way you feel you should be treated, or you
right,
don't make the money you feel you should be making. So
right.
I just make it a point for them, like, yes, it's okay to have a job. I wouldn't tell anybody, oh, just run a business, because it's still a 9 to 5 job too. But it's more important to me because it's something I'm building for me. So my
Right.
son, he's 19. He has his own clothing brand. He
Mm,
told me we talked. He was like, "Mom, I want to start a business." I'm like, "Well, what do you want to do?" He's like, "I like clothes." He likes fashion. So I said, "Create a logo, and we'll go get you an LLC, and you can start your clothing brand." So he's been doing that since he's 16. His clothing brand is Dream Chasers AP. We did a job fair and pop-up shop together in March. That was our first event we ever did together. I did like a
wow.
small job fair, and
Mm,
he set up his table and had his clothes. And he's amazing with marketing and sales. He's better than me at that. I'm not very good at marketing, but he knows. He has the gift of gab. And so I just want them to know to have something for themselves. My daughter,
good.
she loves hair and wigs, and she wants to do real estate. So she graduates this year. She's going to go to TCC for her real estate, but
Mm,
she does everybody's hair. She did my hair. She does her own hair for prom. So I
yeah,
just like promote them to like do whatever it is that your heart feels. You don't have to
right.
go do a 9 to 5 job. You don't have to do that. Like
Yeah,
you can find something that you're passionate about and turn that
right.
passion into income.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Now, that's what's so important. I know when I started this podcast, I thought that it was about leaving a legacy, but generational wealth is what you're doing, teaching your kids and
Mhm.
showing them the way. You're an example, and then you're giving them information and support in starting their own businesses based on something that interests them. And who knows where that can lead to.
Right, right. And that was just my most important thing, was to just to teach them why I'm here, that so
Yeah,
they can always know how to take care of themselves. I'm not going to be here forever. So I want them to know how to take care of themselves outside of what we were always taught the American dream was. You work until you
right,
die. I don't ever want them to
right.
work until you die. I want them to enjoy life. Like
Exactly.
I miss so much of their life growing up because I work 12-hour shifts. I'm
Hmm.
working night shifts. I'm gone, I'm gone a lot. So a lot of things, like we had a conversation, like I talked to them a lot. So a lot of things that they went through when I wasn't around, I had no idea because I'm at work. I didn't know, like, there's a lot of things that I learned. I'm like, dang, I missed chunks of y'all's life. Like it was stuff they were
Right.
talking about. I'm like, when this happened? When
Mm.
did you break the window? When did you sneak out and go down the street? When did this happen? Oh, mama, you
Right.
was at work and we never told you. And I'm like, what else did I miss? What else
Mm.
happened? Like, while I'm just slaving to a job and I'm just working, 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 working. I'm not enjoying my life. I'm not
Right.
enjoying. Yeah. So now, since I built my business, I have more freedom. I don't miss things. When they get out of school, I'm at home.
Mm.
When they have programs at school, I can go.
Yeah.
Cheerleader practice or whatever
Yeah.
they want to do, like I can show up. If they
Right.
call me in the middle of the day, sometimes I can't. My daughter wants to come home earlier. Like, I'm not coming to get you early from school. But on those days when I want to and
Yeah.
I'm not working, like I can go and pick her up. I have more freedom now. I can make my
Right.
own hours and my own time, and I can make up for those years that I feel like I missed with my kids. I don't want to miss any more time because that's stuff I can never get back. So
Yeah. That's
Yeah, and
really
that's
powerful. That's really, really powerful. And so I know that having your own business gives you more options for sure. A couple episodes ago, I interviewed a nurse that was working double shifts as well, and he decided to one day when he was spending time with his family, he had seen how much his kids had grown from leaving in the morning before they woke up, coming back home after they were asleep, and it really disturbed him to the point where he decided to take control of his life. And it took about 3 years, but he was able to completely create a business where through real estate investing, and now he controls his life and the time that he
yes.
spends at work and quality time with his family.
Yeah, that
That's
is
a great
so
benefit.
important.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so important. Even though sometimes, like having your own business, you do have to work.
Oh,
But
yeah.
yeah, you do have to work. But I'm not missing like those large chunks of time. Like
Mm,
I can plan my day out. I can tell them, hey, kids, I'm gonna be gone to this hour today, but I'll be home at this time. Like it's no
sure.
later than this because this is what I'm gonna cut off work. Like, hey, I can't stay out any later than this. And then like this weekend, I controlled what I want to do. I'm not working this weekend. I'm gonna hang out with my girls. We went to Dairy Queen and to the the beauty supply. And I just laid around in my room and we did my hair. Like it was just those things. I'm like, I'm not doing any work today. And just to
Yeah.
have the power to wake up and say, hey, I'm not doing it today. I'm doing this. It's like it makes me so happy. Like almost brings me to tears. Like I got to
Mm,
go have dark lunch with my daughter who is in 5th grade. I have never had lunch with her at school before, and
yeah.
like it dawned on me like I've never sat down and had lunch with her because I'm always at work during the day. I don't
Right.
miss award ceremonies and things like that. Like
Sure.
I'll call in when I was working. I'm like, I'm not missing award
Yeah.
ceremonies, but
Yeah.
it's like little things like just going to have lunch. Like
Hmm.
I've never sat down and had lunch with her, and I was like, I'm gonna go have lunch with my baby today. Or, I take my older daughter's lunch. I don't do it all the time, but just being able to do it. It's
Yeah.
like it makes me feel so good and I'm happy about the decisions that I'm making. Even though, sometimes I go weeks and don't make any money or, it's just rough, but I just keep praying and stay faithful. I change like how I do things so I can make some money, but it's just important for me to have that time with them.
Right, right. Yeah, I think every business there's seasons of ebb and flow, and so
Mhm.
sometimes it's just planning for that, or in just in case. It's like you
Yeah.
don't want it to happen, but if it does, it's those projections. I know for me, I teach real estate investing, and November and December are really quiet. People are focused on family. Holidays are, very big in the forefront. And so sometimes the investing, training kind of takes a back seat for a lot of people. So
Right.
just, kind of knowing your flow, it can help.
Right.
Yeah, of course. It's part of life, it's part of business. I think
Right.
it's really exciting that you have made this investment in your children while you're building your own business, that you have been able to take what you've learned and help them to grow as well. And so more parents should consider, encouraging their kids to do that, not in a forced way, but if they have an interest in it, help them develop those abilities.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's part of the generational wealth. So, what is something that you plan to do in the next 5 years to take your business to the next level?
In the next 5 years, I want to open up assisted living, not just one house, but I want to have like a duplex, many several houses where people can come and live, and it's still like their family. This is their home. They're not in a facility. They're
Mm,
not sharing a room with people. They have their own apartment and own space, and they have people to come in and help take care of them, help make sure they get their food, their pills. A lot of people, like I took care of my mom while she was sick. I didn't want her to go to a facility even though she wanted to. I took care of her while she was sick. But some people don't have like that capacity. I lost a lot of money, a lot of time, but I had to take care of my mama. Like it was no way around that. So my
yeah,
idea with the assisted living is to give them when families can't. It's not like, oh, you're just sending your family member to a facility and forgetting about them. They're coming to a home. They're coming to where people they're going to come in and love them, treat them as their own, make sure that they're being taken care of in their last days, or just because they can't take care of themselves good at home. So I plan to have a full facility where you can come and just you're at home. You're not in a hospital setting. You're not sleeping in a hospital bed. You don't have like the smell of a nursing home. Like this is
Yeah,
your home. We're caring for you. So that's my major goal, is to do that. I still want to staff and, help people develop their business, but to have that assisted living facility where people could come and just be at home. You can't stay at home because for whatever reason, but you come here and you're at home. We
right.
take care of you like family. I make sure that the caregivers come in and take care of them like family.
Yeah, that's really important. I know when my parents got to that age where they wanted to be independent at home, but it was becoming more difficult for them, then
Mhm,
finding a good caregiver that is, you know, like a family member is
mhm.
really, really important. And we were so fortunate to have someone that came to our home that was referred and did the most phenomenal job with my parents.
That's
So,
amazing. Yeah.
yeah, I think more people need to plan for that.
Hmm.
Like, families should have those discussions before the need arises, because it's
Yes.
foreseeable when your family is member is aging, they're 60, 70, and
Hmm.
start observe the different changes, their needs require that the family meet and, include the senior, but really have at least an idea
What's going to happen? See, my
what's
mom
going to
was
happen.
young, so she was only 53 when she passed away.
Oh,
So that was like in the back of our mind, planning
mm,
for her,
mm-hmm.
to get old and get sick
Yeah.
and need help. Like that was in the back of my mind. She still was vibrant up until her kidneys stopped working. She had to go on dialysis,
Mm-hmm.
and it just changed like abruptly. She went on dialysis in December of 2020, and then by
Mm,
February 21, she had
mm.
passed away. So we
Wow.
didn't have like any time to plan. So my mom, when she passed away, she was young. She was only 53 years old. So we didn't get to plan. Like I knew her wishes, like when she wanted, how she wanted to be cremated. I knew those things,
Mm-hmm.
but no way did I think in my mind that at 53 I was going to bury my mom. She got
Yeah.
sick in December. She tried to hide it from me too. She lived with my brothers, and it was like during COVID time. So I worked in an emergency room, so I wasn't going to see her like in her house every day, but I talked to her on the phone
Mm-hmm.
every day. And then around December 10th, like I could not get her on the phone for nothing. I was like, where is my mama? And I was asking my brothers, like, where is mama? And I was like, she's not answering the phone for me. Like, this is weird. I'm about to come over there, blah,
Mm-hmm.
blah, blah. So finally, my brother was like, she went to the hospital this morning. And I was
Oh
like,
no.
nobody thought to tell me. They was like, well, you panic and you get scared and we didn't want to make you nervous. I'm like, well, yeah, because she had been sick a lot. She had diabetes since me and my brother was born. I have a twin. And
Oh.
she was diagnosed with diabetes when she was pregnant with us and has had it her whole entire life. So,
Mm-hmm.
I had seen her sick a lot, but not sick to this point. Well, anyway, so I finally get on the phone, like, Mama, what's going on? Like, why didn't you tell me to go to the hospital? Like, I'm chastising her because I'm like, you tell me when you go to the hospital. I don't care. She was like, I knew you would get off work. I'm like, I don't care. Now I'm not going to work tomorrow because I'm going to have to come to the hospital tomorrow and see what's going on. So she told me her kidneys had stopped. Like it went so fast. Her kidneys had stopped working. She wasn't making any urine. They were saying they had to go in and put a port for her to do dialysis. This was all like a 1 day span. And I'm like, okay. So, I had to take off work and like get her situated. She started dialysis. And then by February of 21, she was gone. And this was in December of 2020. So it wasn't any like planning, like, okay, you're gonna come live here. We didn't get to do anything. And
Yeah.
I started the journey down, like, okay, I'm gonna buy a house. Like my credit was okay. I'm like, I'm gonna buy a house. My mama can come live here and I can take care of her. We can do dialysis from home. Like that was the plan. But then it just that storm we had in February of 21, and she lived up on the hill. And like my brothers, it was the lights had went off. And I
Mm.
was like, we have to go get mama. Like somebody gotta go. I know it's like we
Yeah.
have to go, check on mama because she wasn't answering the phone. My brothers get there. She's like really weak. They get her up. She basically died in the car, and my
Mm.
brother brought her back to life. And then she
she didn't want to be resuscitated, but my brothers didn't know that. Like my
Oh.
mom shared this with me because like my brothers, she always said they weren't as strong as me. And I'm like, I'm really not that strong. I'm really a mess. This is really like bothering me. But I didn't let her know that. I'm like, but she told me her wishes. She didn't want to be resuscitated. She wanted to be cremated. So when I got to the hospital, they were working on her, and I told it was the hardest decision ever to tell them to stop
Mm.
because the selfish part of me was like, just leave her like this. At least, you know, I still have her body. But I looked into her eyes and I saw that she was gone already. And I asked the doctor, I was like, is there any way my mama could come back from this? Because if it is, keep doing everything. But if it's not, let's just stop. And they said, no, there's no way she could come back.
Mm.
So at 10 o'clock on February 15th of 2021, I said goodbye, my last goodbyes to my mama. And it changed me. It changed me tremendously, but it also had me put it in my mind that I have to prepare my kids for things like this. And I have to make sure, like, it was hard to bury her. She didn't have much money. She didn't have, all she had was an apartment. She didn't have anything at 53. And I was like, there's no way I get to that point in life and I don't have anything for my kids. They can't bury me. Like, it was very traumatic.
Mhm.
So that's when I started. I started a body contouring business. It was the very first business I ever started. And I was doing like massages and things, but I had to find something to generate income. So when that time came, like there was money. There was
Yeah.
something for my kids to have, like I could take care of them.
Yeah.
So losing her, like really, it was traumatic for a time, but then it put me in this headspace that I am now, that I have to create something for me and my babies. Like generational health is
Mhm.
wealth is so important, not just to live a fancy life, but to be able to take care of your family and for your family to be able to take care of themselves when you're no longer here. Like my kids know mama. Okay, you need me to do this, I'm gonna go do it. I do everything for them. But I want them to also know when I'm not here, they still have those tools to do it on their own and they're not just out here going crazy or, stuck and struggling.
Right, right. Yeah, those the passage of losing a parent is a opportunity for growth and awareness that you don't know until you go through that rite of passage. I remember when my parents needed help, and I have one child, and I would say to people, I have three kids now, and they're like, "What?" I go,
Yeah,
"Yeah,
because you take
my
on that
daughter,
role.
my
Yeah,
mom, and my dad."
yeah.
Yeah, and it really requires you to grow and transform into a new way of thinking, but
Hmm.
they were the example, and so you are able to use those tools of their parenting. Hold on for a second. Someone is knocking on the door.
Take a breath. I'm ready.
Right. So it's so important for people that have gone through that experience that they're able to share that. And I think that's really powerful, especially in the field that you're in, because you can coach people on the staffing side, but also the families in, preparing to how to help their loved one, their parent, in this time of transition, because it's definitely a passage for all the parties involved.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I started writing a book after my mom passed away. My dad passed 4 months later, and I started writing a book. It's in a draft form right now called Parenting Your Parent.
Right.
Yeah,
I
because
like
it's
that.
yeah, it's different. It's definitely a different way of thinking and, and looking out for them. So, I congratulate you on, having the ability to care for your mom and to the strength to make that decision, and that you're willing to, make a change in your life so that your children don't have that same experience.
Right.
It's not as traumatic if there's some type of planning involved. So that's what our parents want us to do. They want us to, the legacy is to do better, be better.
Right.
And so you're living that every day. And I
Yes,
know your
ma'am.
mom's very proud of you.
Yes.
I took off my glasses. Anyway, so, anyway, this is
Yeah.
quite an interesting interview, but I've learned a lot chatting with you, and it's been really invaluable. I know that our listeners can learn a lot from your personal experience, and I thank you for being so vulnerable and sharing your story about losing your mom and how it transformed you, and it helped you to make some decisions that are difficult but will serve your family well in the future. So
Right.
I wish you
Thank
the
you.
best with your business
Thank
and
you. Thank you.
your mission. I encourage you to continue spreading the word and helping people with their staffing needs. The people that you place, it's a blessing to them and their families. And so you just have so much good energy around you because you're doing so much good. And it just shows what one person can do. So
Right.
keep
Thank you. I
good
appreciate
work.
that. I
Sure. Thanks for
appreciate that.
joining us today. I would love to have you again.
You're welcome. Invite me back anytime.
Okay, it's a deal. Thank you for tuning in to Crown and Keys, where wealth meets wisdom and legacy is built with intention. If today's episode inspired you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it, subscribe, and leave a review. And if you're ready to take your wealth strategy to the next level, visit crownandkeyspodcast.com to align your finances with your future. Until next time, stay aligned, stay empowered, and keep building your legacy. Your keys are in your hand. See you soon.